This is World Awakenings, the fast track to enlightenment with your host, Carl Gruber. World Awakenings is a podcast dedicated to opening your mind, your heart, and your eyes to the fact that the world's population is now, more than ever, awakening to all things spiritual, metaphysical, and enlightening, and just how they play an all-important role in our daily life. So join Carl on this enlightening experience as he interviews metaphysical and spiritual experts to discuss, debate, and delve deeply into the hows and whys of this worldwide awakening.
Hi guys, I'm Carl Gruber, author of the new book True Spirituality and the Law of Attraction, a beautiful symbiotic relationship. Are you tired of being caught in the web of negativity that our ego-driven world mandates as reality? Say one positive thing and all you hear is, get real, get your head out of the clouds and prepare for the worst. Well, I'm here to tell you that negativity is not reality, and that the opposite is true. This is why I have written and published this book. In my new book, I show you how you can walk hand in hand and in alignment with the law of attraction and eternal universal spiritual truths, which will allow you to make all the positive, loving, happy, abundant, and healthy things you desire your reality. Find out how you can become a consistent co-creator of your life with the universe and get out of that negative spiral of lack, attack, and judgment. Get your copy today of my new book, True Spirituality and the Law of Attraction, a beautiful symbiotic relationship by Carl Gruber, now available as an ebook and paperback on Amazon. Hey, welcome friends. I am so excited to welcome you back to the show World Awakenings, the fast track to enlightenment. I started the show over 4 years ago with the intention to find out why now more than ever, the people of the world are awakening to all things spiritual, enlightening, and metaphysical. To find out, I have had some of the world's greatest experts, teachers, authors, and even ascended masters and channeled beings from the stars on the show to help us explore the answer to this question and far more. We'll continue on the same path for this episode, but first, I would love it if you took a moment to check out my brand new book, True Spirituality and the Law of Attraction, a beautiful symbiotic relationship. It's a book that will show you how to build a rock-solid personal foundation based on universal love and truth to become a consistent co-creator with the universe to create the life you love to live and live to love. So click on that link below to get your ebook or paperback copy today on Amazon. Also, please subscribe to this channel so you never ever miss a single episode of this show. All right, for this show, we check in with yet another beacon of light, love, and truth, Kim van de Sande. And like so many people, she came into the world surrounded by light and love, only to slowly dim her own light and remembrance of the truth to match those that were in her environment. So later as an adult, a health scare put her back on the path to remembering and living her truth and her higher path. Now she has blossomed into a star mother, a sacred architect, cosmic channel, high priestess, and teacher who helps people all across the globe to ascend and amplify their ability to fully embody their divine potential with the speed of light. I love it. Welcome, Kim. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Carl. I'm so excited to be here and sharing our magic together. So thank you.
Wow, I think we have so much to talk about. And let's see, I'm in the States and you're in the Netherlands, and that's your home country?
Yes, I've always lived in the Netherlands, traveled the whole world, but the Netherlands is my home place. So yeah, it's beautiful.
Awesome. One day I got to get over there and see all the tulips.
Yes. And see more than Amsterdam, because there's much more to discover than the capital city. Yeah.
Well, Well, let's look at this. I mean, obviously I got much of this information about you from your website and your new book, which you're going to talk about. But it sounds like as a child, you were quite connected to source and the light, but then you had a disconnect from that for quite a while you learned to navigate our 3D world of contrast. Can you tell us about this ride?
I was just a child that was just wondered by everything that happened. And I had so much energy and so much enthusiasm about life, but it was just always too much for my environment and like the ideas I had or the inspirations I got. It was, in a way, school, but also just my parents, although they loved me very much, but it's like they dimmed my light because then I was too much or I was too loud or I was too exciting. But when you're truly in connection with yourself, it just creates excitement. It creates laughter. But for a lot of adults, like a child that is very enthusiastic can be very, I get it myself. I'm now a mom of 2 little girls. It sometimes can be very intense, but you want them to stay in that light. And for me, like all these different things, I noticed that I had different ideas about life. I was more busy with the bigger lines. Like, why are people in these limiting beliefs? Why are people so dense? I was constantly... But in a way, at one moment you notice that you're different. And also in school, I noticed that I was interested in different things than my schoolmates. And in that, I felt alone and separate. And then you just get to adjust to whatever is happening there because you want to be part of the group. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to be seen as someone different. So slowly, bits by bits, I dimmed my light and I just came like a copy of what I thought the world wanted me to be. But in that way, I lost my power. I lost my magic. I lost my connection. And also just my ability to connect with higher dimensions. As a child, I could do that naturally, talk to energies that were not visible, or nobody around me could do that. So then you think, okay, I will make it up. Or it's like, so it's an interesting journey. But I think a lot of us start that way, fully open, fully activated. And then it's also, I think, part of our initiation journey to, in a way, feel the contrast of light. So feel the density, feel the separation, and through the separation we learn. But that is what I know now, not a couple of years ago. But
well, and I think what you described really is what the vast majority of us experience as toddlers and young children is, we come in ready to rock and roll, as
yes.
And then the world just causes us to dim our light because anything that's out of the quote norm of the 3D realm, isn't looked upon real happily. And your children are really fortunate to be able to have a mom like you, and I think we're starting to see a change with that too.
I hope so. Yeah.
So, and of course, I have 87,000 more questions here.
Yes,
but
of course.
I'm just more curious too. I mean, do you remember things when you were a young child where you were connecting to things other people can't see? Do you have any particular experiences?
Well, I've been discovering that now. I can hear things through the wind. I can talk to trees. I can talk to stone. So when I was a little child, I grew up on a farm. So I would go outside and I would just talk to nature. And that was and I would feel so connected and so nurtured. But then I saw nobody doing that. It's like, but there's so much wisdom because it's also us connecting to nature. It's also connecting to our own body, to our own inner nature. And there's so much wisdom in that, but it's also, you need to be, that's what I notice now, even me now saying it, I need to be strong in my centeredness to be able to say, I can talk to the wind, I can talk to stones, because a lot of people think I'm bonkers, but I don't mind, because in the end, who would I rather be? Would I be like a copy of someone else, or would I just be myself? Because that's really, I think we're just being invited to be ourselves. So even though the majority finds it strange or to be too much, because that's also what I noticed when I was younger. I was not being taught to express my emotions, to cry, to scream, and that's also what I now teach my girls. Like, they have so much more wisdom than we have. They come as a new generation, but we need to value the wisdom they hold. But we think as an adult, oh no, we know it better because we have all these life experiences. No, maybe not, because they come here pure, so they still have the source spark, they still have the source energy. And also the way to express. But that was within me, like expressing my gratitude to nature, expressing my connection to nature. But in that, it was constantly damped, like, just be like this normal state. Don't be too enthusiastic. Don't cry, don't be angry. And in that, you constantly damp every intuition that you feel. And that's really, for me, it was the last few years, a huge step to come out of that, to release that and to allow myself to start feel again and connect to nature in ways I did before. Yeah.
What a beautiful personal view. I really like that. It's funny because I was in a store a couple weeks ago, and a couple came in with like their little 5-year-old boy on, and the boy, it was just exactly like he was just connected he had a Super Mario hat on, and he was holding a stuffed dinosaur, and he was just in heaven. And he just walks in, and everybody's being so serious, and I'm just thinking, God, wouldn't it be great to be able to just go do that and go back and do that? So I'm gonna have to go find a Super Mario hat.
Yes, do that. That would be amazing. Taking back the childhood wonder, because whoever created the idea that life should be hard, life should be serious. It's like, who thought of that? But the whole system is being created. No, we need to work, we need to learn, we need to be in our head, in our ego mind. No, you need to be in your body, you need to feel, you need to be wondered about life again. And through that, magical things open up, but not by constantly being in our head, constantly trying to force things. But that's what we are being learned in school, in systems, in everything we do. It's like, no, don't feel, go into your head, go into this limited space of you, and don't use the rest of your superpowers, like your emotions, like your body, like your feel. No, only this limited part. And then we get the idea that we create beauty. But is it truly? It's like, the structures that we are being presented, like, oh, when you grow up, you go to study, you go and buy a house, get children, and just work the rest of your life until you retire, and then you get to live. No, you get to live now. It's like it's breaking free also within me. Like the last few years, I've been so awakening through all that is happening, but it's also inviting me to break free from the limiting ideas about being a mom, the limiting ideas about being a wife, being a mother, being a daughter, all these things. It's like, I think if you want to create a different world, we need to break all these cycles and create from new, create from wonder, create from the heart space within. Yeah.
Well, I am interested because, I don't know the details, and maybe you don't want to talk about it, but I mean, what was this health scare that you had that kind of led to you blossoming and returning to your light?
Well, over the years, there have been many signs, I must tell you. It's like my body was constantly telling me, like, I had a couple of years ago, before that, I had a burnout. And then you do just the natural things, and I came more to myself, but I was still looking for the answers outside of myself instead of within. So then at one moment I felt good again, and then you just go back into your old patterns because it's okay. And it's like, you see it like an incident instead of seeing it as the truth that is within you. So then my girls got born, and that was for me a big awakening, because I felt like my whole life I had been adjusting to the outer environment, but I was not happy within myself. And I really wanted them to live from their heart and from their truth and to express who they are. But I thought I could say it to them, but you need to live it. Otherwise, children, they feel your essence. They feel behind your words. So I thought, no, that was already a big step for me to create something different. But I think 3 years later, after my youngest was born, I was diagnosed with chronic Lyme. And for me, it was really, at one moment, I couldn't do anything anymore. So it was like I could only lay in bed. And that was for me, in that moment, it was my body and my feel and my emotions saying, stop. There's nothing anymore. My life, like my friends, because it already started 10 years ago, like little things. And then at one moment, people, it's like the society thinks, are you making it up? Or there were all these things. And I now see that it was my big awakening, and it was part of me detaching from everything that was not healthy in my life. So at that moment, there was nothing. I could lay in bed, and I had a choice, like going down the spiral of this chronic illness or choose something different. So in that moment, I prayed, and my deep desire for health and seeing my girls grow up became so strong that it became my anchor, my light. And in that light, a powerful energy arises within me. And now I understand that it was already the force of the flower of love, like this field of divine feminine counsel that was coming. But I was not aware of that, but it was like awakening. In that dark moment, it awakened my passion, my drive, my deep desire. And I hope a lot of people don't let it come that far, because I got signs many years ago, but I didn't want to listen. And it was in the end my soul saying, now it's time. You need to step up in who you are. You need to reclaim. So for me, I'm very happy that happened, because it was like, I think it's now 4 or 5 years ago, but it was like this big turning point in my life. And also seeing like breaking free from, I already did things a lot with natural herbs and stuff, but it was like really me choosing consciously to heal my body, heal my emotions, heal my traumas, really go deep within. And through that, I turned everything. The doctor said, you will only go down. No, I don't believe that. It's like I had this fierceness that awakened, but I hope people get that before they get sick, because it's not a fun road. It's like,
Well, and that's a great thing, that if we can take the contrast and the dark nights of the soul in our life and use them as a launching point to go back to the light. But the problem is many people just stay stuck in that tunnel.
Yeah.
You know? So, I want to ask this. I'm just really curious about this. You go by the name Kimness?
Yes.
How'd that come about?
Well, it was, my message is about being yourself, being your authentic self unapologetically. And that's also where I help people within my business with, like, being themselves is what makes you magnetic, is what makes you powerful. So it is me sharing my uniqueness to remind you of your uniqueness. It's me sharing my Kimness to remind you of your you-ness, because I think we come here, and that's also what my channelings are about. It's like we come here to bring and to anchor something unique that only you and I can bring in our own unique way. It's coming back to the essence of who we are, releasing these layers of illusion, of separation, of and creating this strong foundation of our essence. And that's why I thought at one moment it just came up, but it's also happiness, mindfulness, joyfulness. You can bring it in many things, but it started by because also in my teachings, I want people to find their own essence. I will hold space and I will mirror them in the moments they forget, but they need to do the work. So it's not that I'm the spiritual guru that stands here. No, you need to do the work. I'll teach you, I'll help you, I'll guide you, but I want you to find the magic that wants to arise within you, because we are all here to bring something unique. And that's also what we all need to remember. Like, your life isn't, we've so been taught that life is just, you just go on with everything that happens and life just overcomes you. No, you came here to the Earth Star, and especially when you're listening to this podcast, and because you're already, there's a deeper meaning to your life. You're coming to bring here something unique, and that's inviting you to go deep within. And my illness helped with that. But there are so many ways to do that. Reclaiming your essence, reclaiming like this seed of creation that is within you. So that's why Kimness.
I'm going to call myself Carlness.
Yes, do that. Yes, but that's your unique blueprint that you get to share with the world. It's like also, like, there are so many teachings, but you have your unique combination of teachings that resonate with you, and you make your blend and share that with the world. And that's your unique template to share. And the more people step into that space of really being who they came here to be, then there's no separation, then there's joy, there's love, because that means loving yourself. And then the world magically changes, because when you are really centered within yourself, and I love that I read a couple of chapters as well as your book, because there are a lot of similarities. When you create a strong foundation within yourself, magic is possible, but it's coming back to the essence of who you are, releasing the bullshit, releasing all these layers of illusions and separations, and center. So
wow, this is just great. And I want to dive right away into what you do now as a cosmic channel, a teacher of love, light, and truth. How did that evolve?
I always could channel, but it was like more the last few years, through all the courses and the books that came on my path, I became conscious of it. I know that when I was a child, because a way of my channeling is also through light language, and also through singing, because my light language most of the time comes in through singing. I had been doing that for many years, but I thought I'm just singing some Italian song where I don't know the lyrics of, that just somehow is in my mind. But it's not. So one moment I was following a course and my light language was streaming, and then someone said, oh, this is light language. And it opened up something within me. And the more I started to work with it, the more it opened up. But that's also an interesting story, also with my light language. I channeled light language, but in the beginning, my guides keep saying, no, it is for the other person to understand. It's not for you to understand, because I didn't get like messages with it. And the more I started to do it, it's like with everything in your life, take the stepping stone. And when you when you step on the stepping stone, more is being revealed. Now I get messages. Now I get understanding of what the light language means that comes true. But the beautiful thing about light language is that it passes by your logical mind. So your field relaxes and it goes to your soul. It's like it opens portals within you where more of your essence comes online. But it's not like, because when we channel with words, sometimes our logical mind can think something of it and then blocks your whole field. Like, oh no, this is not truth, or this is not what is happening. So then your body freezes, you go into fight, flight, freeze, and then the flow stops. But with light language, you can't understand. It's just like a beautiful lullaby that your soul understands, and it just opens, in a soft way, opens things. So, but there was a whole journey the last few years to really be confident enough also to share that. So it's like with everything, we are all being stretched. And that's also what my teachings are about. It's like honoring who you are, but also being truthful about this journey. Because within you have this desire to be of a contribution. But it also, for me, like the last years, it's constantly facing my shadows. And the more, that's also interesting within my business, that what I've noticed, like, I've followed different courses, like you need to create all these marketing tools and all these things, but somehow it didn't work until I got to work within myself. I got to face my shadow layers. I got to cry, to dance, to express, to scream. And through that, suddenly portals open up. Clients came on my path, but it's by me doing the inner work. And I think also in the spiritual community, it's becoming truthful. Like the spirituality is not always only enlightenment and joy. It's sometimes also facing the shadows within yourself that creates the biggest growth. Being honest and truthful about who we are instead of only these beautiful pictures. And because it's, again, almost like a spiritual community creates like these Facebooks where you only show the beauty and the pretty. And then everyone thinks, oh, I'm failing. Because for me, it doesn't work like that. I'm constantly stumbling against something and it's not as joyful as it looks like for others, but it's becoming honest about who we are and coming together. And yeah, so my business is transitioning the last half year, because I feel my mission is becoming, it's interesting. The moment I channeled by my book, it was 1.5 years ago, it opened up a whole new teaching, and I'm constantly being guided by the Council of the Flower of Love. And what they're now sharing is like connecting as many people as possible to the field of love, because when we are in love with ourselves, more opens up, and it's like all of us coming together in this space. And the more people connect to this field of love, the more love comes to the earth star. It's like reminding everyone that you alone already, by shifting things in yourself, can change the collective field, can contribute in a beautiful way. It's acknowledging the power that each one of us holds to bring change to being, a different world.
It's interesting that I have now had a number of my guests on the show speak light language, and I had never heard of it before. No. And so I still don't understand it, but you're telling me just by listening to it, it can be healing.
It is, but because it's the language your soul understands, and your higher self and team of light knows what it needs to receive out of these codes. So also when I do sessions with souls, it's like they can constantly listen to the replay and get different things out of it, because in each and every moment it's like a multidimensional vortex. So in this moment you might need one element out of it, and the next moment another element, but it just supports you to come closer to who you are. Because I think that's also our journey. We have so been taught to understand everything with our logical mind, but we are being invited to feel with our heart if it's aligned, to feel with our body, with our emotions, because that is our real truth. It's not what our mind thinks, it's about what our field and our body reveals. So it's coming back to these essential tools we have to feel our truth, and also to honor, like, your truth can be different than my truth, and really being faithful in that. Like, we don't have to be all the same and all the,
Well, we're definitely going to talk about your new book here, and hopefully meet your friends at Flower Love Council. I mentioned to you earlier, but yesterday, and I encourage all the viewers and listeners to do this, download Kim's Rose Flame Meditation, which I did yesterday, and she speaks light language and you sing on it. And it was really calming and peaceful, because I mentioned to you, I was kind of misaligned yesterday, and I listened to that, and it was a big help to me yesterday. So that is, I think they can just go to your website.
Yes. Yes, it's on my homepage, and then you can, download it. So
one other thing before we go a little bit further, I'm interested too, your experience of being initiated as an ascended master of Thoth, the Egyptian god. How did that happen, and what did that mean for your life?
There was an accelerated journey. It was like a program I followed, and it guided me to scribe my book with the speed of light, because Toad is the scribe of ancient Egypt. So he created all the scrolls and he wrote everything down. And through that, I got initiated again in scroll, but I've done that in many lifetimes. I was there in ancient Egypt and I was also a scribe. So it was, again, for me, because this whole journey is deep remembering. It's not learning something outside of yourself. We are being invited to remember these deeper parts within myself, within ourselves. So for me, it was a remembering of being a scribe in that moment. And the program and this initiation invited me to scribe a book. So I didn't have an idea of a book. I just committed to myself. And I said, I will sit down for 2 weeks, 2 hours a day to channel. So I sat down, and in 20 hours, a whole book came out. So it was that initiation that supported me to scribe my book with the speed of light. So it was really a powerful journey. And it didn't came in like chapter 1, 2, 3. It came in like chapter 12, 8. So then the whole realigning started. But yeah, I think with everything we create, if we're really being open to be this pure vessel, it just comes true. But it's, again, not with our ego mind having an idea and trying to force things. It's just being open for the now moment to guide us and to, teach us what. But the Thoth is it's a powerful energy to work with. And if you feel resonated, I would recommend to look it up, because it's like it's related to scribing, but also to sacred architecture. And that's also one of my expertise.
You must type really fast at speed of light.
Yes. Well, I had a little computer program helping me, because when I typed and scribed, it was like 900 words 30 minutes. And now when I would speak and I would type it out, 3,000. So that was my super key. So that was beautiful. Yes. It was amazing.
Well, so this is amazing. We understand that Kim is the channel for some multi-dimensional beings who call themselves the Flower of Love Council. Would it be possible to bring them in for a little bit and we can chat with them?
Yes, of course. Yeah, it's more like they bring you on a journey. So we'll see what they open up. So, okay, I will tune in. We are the Flower of Love Council, and we want to bring forth some codes of love to awaken a deeper remembering within your being. So for this now moment, we would invite you to just close your eyes and to just embrace yourself as you are now being surrounded by this field of love and light. So you are now being surrounded by these deeper codes of love, nurturing every cell of your body, every part of your being. And there's nothing you have to do. It's just in this now moment, allowing yourself to receive and remembering the light and the love that is within you. And just receive this sacred transmission as your higher self and team of light knows what you need in this now moment. Tumare sumatare sirumare karesu Ave dumare kimatiru vale simatu Tu savedi ma caresaru vale di mata Tu vale same ki mataru male di masa Tu save care mare sumare ki Tu mare ki matare sumate suvale di Dame kumare si. This journey is all about remembering who you are, remembering the potency that is within you and that invites you to go deep within. Connect to these deeper layers that are within you and embrace yourself with love. Just for a moment now, feel this field of love around you and notice that there is nothing you have to do to receive love. So everywhere in your body and your system, there is the illusion of you needing to be more, needing to do more, needing to step up in a different way to receive. Allow this illusion to be dissolved in this now moment. Ekuma kare kimata. And just feel your body, feel your field, feel how you are centered within yourself and how this blanket of love codes is surrounding you. And there's nothing you have to do, but also notice that the more love you receive, the more you open up. And what we want to share with you is as you open up to love, your body relaxes. And you will notice you become more receptive for your inner guidance, for your inner knowing. You become more receptive for the essence of you to rise up. But it is inviting you to, throughout this day, take these moments to connect with your body, connect with your fields, connect with your emotions. Take a moment to just consciously breathe and feel. And they're really inviting you to feel the core of your being, and they're supporting you right now. Ekumakare kimate sukare kimaka. De kumakare kimate kumakare kimaka. And the more you center within, the more magical things open up. But it is by you centering. So during the day, when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel like you went out of alignment with who you are in your essence, take a moment to come back to yourself. You can do this by placing your hands over your heart and just taking a couple of deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And maybe you can feel when you do that you're already recentering, that your whole body and field is connecting deep within. And everywhere your field is afraid of the power that is within you, just allow it to be dissolved throughout all time dimensions, space, realities, levels of consciousness and beyond. It's you recentering, you reclaiming the power that is within you. And they really want you to feel that in this now moment. Just feel how it feels to recenter. Because it awakens a remembering in your cells. And once this remembrance awakens even more, it is more easy to tap into this energy that is essentially you. Ekumare kimate sukare kimatake sukare kimaka. Te kumakare kimakate sukare kimaka. And as you center more within your heart, maybe you can feel like your higher self and team of light is supporting you to connect more fully with Mother Earth and the universe. It's centering your energy, but not only within your body, but also connecting you above and below. Because you are a bridge between these higher dimensions and Mother Earth. And it is within this bridging power that more of your essential energy comes online, Ekumare Kimaka, because within this bridging energy, you feel supported, you feel connected, you feel seen, you feel loved. So just for a moment, feel it in your body, feel how your senses are responding and awakening, feel the vibrant energy awakening within you, like a swirl of energy all around you. And just for a moment, receive even more. Allow your essential energy to arise. Tumare sumakare same kare mirasa. Tumare kimata se mare kimatare va. Tumare kimada se numate sumakeri. Tumare kimada se rumake rumare vi. La que rumare vi. And we are inviting you to constantly come back to who you are, come back to the centeredness within. And just allow yourself to be supported by Mother Earth and the universe, by this connection. And the more you relax, the more you raise your vibrations, and the more of your essential energy comes online. The more clear your guidance, the more clear your signs, the more clear your synchronicities. But it is by you consciously choosing to realign yourself. So just for a moment, anchor this awareness in your body and your field, and know your higher self and team of light is supporting you in that. Because this is the vibration you want to be in. This is the vibration you want to feel. Timakeru maka. And now take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, breathing in love and grace, and breathing out everything you do not need anymore. And when you are ready, slowly open your eyes again. And welcome back.
Yeah, that was awesome.
yeah, most of these conversations, it's like also in that feeling our bodies and our sensations, because most of the conversations are happening in the higher dimensions of us. Like our physical reality is just a small part of who we are. We are so much more. And it's inviting all of these different dimensions to co-create together and share. So,
well, it's the first time I've heard a song in light language. And I'll tell you this, I have external speakers connected to my laptop here, so it's pretty loud. When you started singing, my cat jumped up, her ears went like this and came right and looking right in the speaker.
oh, really?
So attracted to it. She was going, what?
Yes, that's amazing.
I think she understood.
Yeah, but it's interesting that the moment I do sessions or light language, because my light language most of the time comes in through sound, but my husband doesn't have internet below. It just absorbs all the internet, all the bandwidth of, But I think when we do energy work, there's so much happening that goes beyond our logical mind that just, it's so big. But it's just allowing yourself to receive, because that's what I love about light language. It's not hard work. It's just receiving, being, and trusting in this co-creation with all these dimensions that you are.
Pretty amazing. So let's talk now about this new book you have called Activating the Flower of Love. And you wrote this, the Flower of Love Council sent it through you, and you scribed it, right? What exactly is this whole book about?
It is about coming back to your essential blueprint. So it is interesting because the first part of the book, it helps you to go, like you have this seed of creation that you took with you before you came to the Earth Star. And within this divine blueprint of yours, there is your tools, your gifts, all the things you wanted to take with you when you entered this earthly journey to support you. And when you went into this earthly journey, all these layers of separation and illusion came on top. So you forgot about this essential part of you, about your mission, about your tools, about your gifts. And what the first part of the book is supporting you with, and it describes it like a garden. Your seed of creation is still pure. It is still whole. It is intact. Whatever has happened in your life, whatever traumas have been in your past, it hasn't been changed. It's like also just the seed of a flower. It stays pure. It stays whole. But it's inviting you to clear out your garden, to clear out all these layers that are not you, to come back to the essence. And so the first part helps you to clear your soils, to clear your vibration. And when you are this clear, pure vessel, it supports you with transmissions, with activations. It's like the book is a multidimensional transmission. So as you read, you will feel that it interacts with your energy field to clear these slower vibrations, to clear these limiting beliefs. And then you come to the point where your vessel is pure enough. And it invites you to have a deep desire, very clear, because then through your deep desire, it gets activated through your seed of creation. But the beautiful thing about this book, and that's also what I love about your book, it invites you to create this pure foundation within yourself. And when you have this pure foundation within yourself, it's much more easy to manifest, because they explain it like this ball of energy around you. And we have so many subconscious beliefs in our field, and they share it like these are these black spots in your energy field. And when you want to manifest a certain thing, but you have all these black spots that share something different, you won't manifest anything. You stay stuck in where you are. So it's inviting you to clear all these subconscious programmings, the limiting beliefs, and that's where the first part helps. And then to set this clear intention, this deep desire, and then the manifestation goes very quickly because you're not sabotaging yourself anymore. You have like this clear field that will support you to move forward. And what then the second part of this book does is like it supports you with activations to activate your seed of creation, to activate your gifts and tools and talents, and to come back to the essence of you and really step into this space where you feel empowered to step into the world with your mission, but also to just manifest the life of your dreams, because that's also an illusion. You living the best life you want is your biggest contribution. But we have so been taught to constantly take care of others, to overgive, to do all these things, to make others more important than ourselves. And that's what this journey is about. It's like coming back to who you are and living your most magical life, because from that state of overflow, you have more to give to the world. So it's breaking some illusions, but it's also really supporting you to come back to the essence of you and to build a strong foundation within your field on all the different levels to feel empowered to step forward.
I'm so glad that you mentioned about building a strong personal foundation, because for me, as you mentioned, that is a key part of my book, True Spirituality and the Law of Attraction. It was an epiphany for me, which unfolded over a long period of time. I finally realized, that in order to become a consistent co-creator with the universe, consistent, you have to have a rock solid personal foundation based on eternal universal truth of love, light, and oneness. And that creates a rock solid house for you, and that's where the consistency comes, because you don't have those dips back down into the 3D realm of contrast and all that. So that is beautiful. So I really suggest that you get a copy of her newest book, Activating the Flower of Love. I do want to ask you this too, because I'm really interested as a guy. You teach about the resurgence of the divine feminine. How can men understand this and incorporate it into their being to blossom into remembering their own higher self?
I think even for everyone, it's important. We have, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, or we both have a feminine energy and a masculine energy. So the divine feminine is all about receiving the inspiration, being in this state of receptiveness, nurturing ourselves. And the divine masculine is stepping out into the world. And we are all being invited to create from the union within. So to first receive the inspiration, the guidance, whatever it is, and through the divine feminine, to then let it energetically build and then inspire the divine masculine to bring it out into the world, to come into action, to create plans, to create. But we are now, through all the societies, being taught to create from the masculine with force, with the wounded masculine, I must say, with force, with trying to create things with structures. And so it's really inviting us to come back into our emotions, to come back into just tuning in what is in my highest and best good, receiving the inspiration. And it's the same with my book, but with everyone. When you are in this inspired state, whatever you create, it goes very fast. But when you try to force a creation, you will notice that most of the time it doesn't work. And in the end, you will reach your goal, but then you are tired and it's like, that's what I notice within myself. When you create from this inspired state, so when you create first with the feminine, then the masculine, it will also nurture every part of your field, every part of your body, every part of your life, instead of like only your business blossoming, but then also your personal life blossoming, and also you having time to enjoy the money you receive through what you are creating. It's like, it's inviting us to work with all these parts. And I think even in these times for men, it's more difficult because there are more paradigms on emotions, on feeling, on expressing different parts of yourself. But when men do, it's so powerful. I have a couple of beautiful friends around me, and also my husband, that really embody both parts. And it's just magical. But it's like, it creates a whole different world as well. Because when we are in this state of nourishment, when we are in this state of creating from inspiration, these creations are nurturing for the whole world. These creations have an eye for everything, instead of only making money, or instead of only like being forced at one area, but it's really it's a big step. But I think the world also, it's like we've anchored the light on the earth now, and now it needs love to open up. So now it needs a different dimension. It needs the divine feminine, and it doesn't matter if you're male or female. It needs this intuition. It needs this nourishment, this building of energy, allowing also with creations. That's also within my book. When you have a desire, allow this desire to build within your field, within your foundation, and then through that inspiration, let it bring into the world. But it starts with the energetic creation instead of force.
And I agree with everything you said there. I mean, the divine feminine is needed now more than ever to be pumped back into humanity. But I ask because, I mean, I can be just as a testosterone-filled guy as the next. We get together and, we chest bump it. Hey, dude. Yeah. And then, hey, what about the divine feminine? And the typical guy, I'll tell you what I'm going to do with that divine feminine.
Yes.
I mean, no, it really is. I mean, a lot of guys, when they hear divine feminine, they go, what is this sissy stuff?
Yeah, and I get that.
That is so, the way the world has been, run by masculine force type energy, and it is time for a change, and this is why, one of the reasons why the world is in the mess it is right now, because of that.
But it is the wounded masculine that has ruled, because the divine masculine is so powerful and will create beauty. So, but I think also we sometimes have these limitations on words, because in the end, also spirituality, this journey, it's about becoming happy, becoming who you are, being in this fun, joyful state. Also the divine feminine, it's just about intuition. And also men receive intuition, they receive guidance, they receive inspiration. Just, yeah, that's also what I noticed within myself, like the last couple of years. My biggest transformation also happened by me allowing to have fun, following my joy. And through following my joy, my business was created. So maybe we don't need to call it divine feminine. Maybe we just need to call it follow your joy, follow your inspiration, be in this joyful state. And just, it's like creating from a whole different area. But I love that the book, like Think and Grow Rich, even in that, they explain like how these men would go in meditation, or how these men would receive inspiration. That was already the divine feminine, only because it has the word feminine. It's like it has some energy on top of it, but it's just receiving inspiration from a higher source, from something within yourself. And when you receive that inspiration, they all share these beautiful stories in their book. Magic is created. But it's not by, I want to create this and I create it with hard force. No, Ford didn't create his business on that. He created it from inspiration and then allowed the inspiration to come into form. Like it's just following these steps of universal creations, of universal laws. And I think sometimes it's difficult that we place masculine and feminine on top of it, because then we get all these things mixed that are not connected to it. It's not the essential message of what wants to be shared. So well,
this is a great conversation. I'm sure we could have an entire podcast just
I know
topic, but you really do some cool stuff. I know that you occasionally go on pilgrimages back to Egypt, but you just went to Glastonbury, UK. What was that all about? Is there a sacred spot? Is that a sacred spot?
Yes, it is. Like it's called, it's related to ancient Avalon, and what they shared, like also the Essene community where Jeshua and Mary Magdalene were part of. After the crucifixion of Jeshua, they went to Glastonbury and put his blood into the chalice well. So that's really a powerful portal. But they say like Glastonbury is the heart chakra of the world. And that was what I experienced. So it's again following my inner inspiration without not knowing. So I went to Egypt. Egypt was really centering me within myself. It was a huge awakening. And then I went to South Africa. That was for me really awakening my womb space, connecting me with my grounding even more. And then I just felt called to go to Glastonbury. And it was so magical and also just sharing it with soul sisters from all over the world. But it exploded my heart. And each time you go to these sacred sites, you just receive new codes. You receive new remembering within your body, like lifetimes where we also have been there, like Priestess going into these ancient places to have these beautiful rituals of love and light. So for me, it was like a awakening of a deep remembering. I believe that each time when you follow your inner guidance, you just get these new codes. It's like stepping stones. So for me, again, this was a beautiful stepping stone. And next year, Egypt is going to be all about heart awakening in the temples of Isis. And this was an important part for me to collect, to remember again within myself. My guides gave me this beautiful image. I don't know if you know the children's movie Soul. And then you see like when before the souls come to the earth, they have this round and they need to collect all these identity issues. So someone's going to be more insecure and someone's going to be more outgoing. And when that circle is full, they go to the earth and then they experience life. But they showed me like we get these codes to collect, and that creates our full embodiment, that creates our full. So when we go to the Earth Star, we forget certain things, and now it's reclaiming that. And I'm just following the guidance, but it was magical to go there.
Did you say that Glastonbury, England, is the sacred center of the world?
They say it's like you have a chart where different parts of the world relate to different chakra points. So Glastonbury is the heart chakra of the world. So there are powerful forces there, and you have multiple sacred sites, but it's just a magical place to be. And it's like what I've also noticed, like these sacred sites, they are like catalysts. So they bring people together that are on a similar journey. And it's so much fun when you sit in a cafe, you just meet beautiful people that are just, have enlightened stories and fun things. And and it's also when you share that with soul sisters, that what I loved, it's also fun to just, we did meditations, activations, we supported each other through dark shadows and light. And but also to reclaim that part of ourselves. Because when we come together, it really creates magic. And we've so been taught to do everything on our own. No, it's time to show ourselves in these vulnerable states and to be seen, to be witnessed, to be loved, because that's where the real empowerment happens. So yeah,
I'm gonna have to get a plane ticket for Glastonbury.
yes, do that. It's magic, but you meet so many beautiful people. It's so much fun. Yeah.
Well, and you just got I think I'm on your email list, and I just got a thing this morning. You got the idea to start your own podcast,
Yes.
which launches today, right? What's it called?
It is. Yes, it's called Soul Love. So it was inspired in Glastonbury by just sharing beautiful conversations with Soul Family, and it's all about just sharing the authentic truth. That I have so many beautiful friends around me that have these beautiful spiritual entrepreneurs, beautiful businesses, but it's also showing the world like we also have these bumps. And as we grow, as we expand, a next level of slower vibrations being revealed that has stopped us before. And it's just, again, stretching ourselves, acknowledging these shadows, going through them, and then growing and expanding more. And so the podcast is more sharing, authentic, heartfelt shares. Like, these journeys are very enlightening, but this is also part of it. So showing the humanness. It's like the image I got a couple of months ago, like Jeshua or Jesus coming to the Earth Star, showing through his own embodiment, showing the people what was possible. And somehow his message, well, there are many explanations of why he was here. But the image they showed me was like, he came here in physical form, because if he would stand in front of a lot of people in like an angel, they wouldn't believe him because they thought, oh, it's just an illusion. No, he came in a body to show others like this is possible, but also the human part of him. Like he also had like these things where he sometimes doubted himself, or there are many different truths, and it's everyone is entitled to have his own truth in that. But it was for me really a message of also us, like spiritual entrepreneurs, like showing our humanness, showing our authentic stories, showing our beautiful shares that we have, and just sharing them with the world. So this morning, the first one launched, and I'm excited, and many are following. So it's also for me an experiment. I work with the speed of light. So the moment I get inspiration, I just create it, and it doesn't have to be perfect, because in the end, it's about the message, and whoever resonates with it will be great. So
maybe I can come on that show and we can continue the conversation.
Yes.
That would be great.
That would be amazing.
And so it's soul love. That's the name.
Soul love. Yes.
Yeah. Well, awesome. One last question. Well, of course, I just have to remind people quickly, we're talking to Kim van de Sande from the Netherlands. She is an amazing being of light, love, and truth, who I'm so fortunate to know so many lovely beings like you around the world. It's great. This podcast has connected me to that. What was, this is one thing I do want to ask, what was it like the very first time the Flower of Love Council spoke through you? Did you know what was happening?
No. I committed to this 20 hours and my book came out. But the first few weeks was like all the old labels came out. Who am I to channel this? Who says this is truth? So I had to go through all these layers within myself. But I let my transcript read. A couple of people read my transcript, and they were so amazed about what came true, and also the energy that awakened within them that gave me the strength to move forward. But it's like with every creation, we start, like the limiting beliefs come up. So the first moment I was amazed, yes, something is coming, but then your mind kicks in and it says, oh, like, who am I? And what is this? So it took a couple of weeks for me to really own that part as well. And it's beautiful that when you create something like that, I had to go through the initiation of the book as well. So the moment I channeled it, my initiation started. So the teachings in my book, I needed to go through that. The first year, it was like all these teachings happened in my life, and now it's constantly unfolding. So now I'm creating these shorter programs that connect people to this field of love, because what they showed me now is like we have this collective field. We have like the quantum field, or the more people that connect to love, the more people that consciously invite love in, the more that will be the norm in the quantum field. So it's like connecting more people to the field of love. And the more people that ask the field of love, the more it also opens up. So it's by us as a collective, we can do so much. It's also like you have many teachings where people consciously do good for a certain area in the world, like they meditate and then something shifts. But it's also with us asking love in. So if we make love our norm, magical things open up. But it's by collecting more people to choose love, just love, and connect from that field, and then we can change the world. But it starts by just loving ourselves and choosing love and then letting it unfold. So also for me, it's just they teach me constantly. It opens up more and more codes within my blueprint and within the blueprint of the earth. So it's an ever unfolding story.
Wise advice for the ages. Kimness, it's been awesome having you on the show. Here on the Carlness show.
Yes.
I was wondering if you could tell people how they can connect with you. What's your website address, etc.?
Yes, my website is kimness.nl. So NL, or you can do kimvandesande.com. You will also come there. And you can find me on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all the different channels. So please connect and share what you find from this. So looking forward to it.
And I will put the links to your book and your website on the show notes with this, and people can find you. It's been an amazing conversation. You're a lovely being, and your friends are awesome. Thank you for being on World Awakenings today.
Thank you for sharing your magic and creating this space of just beautiful knowledge that goes into the world, deeper knowing knowledge. So thank you for your you-ness, and thank you also for the listeners for listening. I hope you find your you-ness as well and just embrace that.
This has been another episode of World Awakenings, the fast track to enlightenment with host Carl Gruber, a certified law of attraction life coach. We welcome you to tune in to each and every episode of World Awakenings as we open your mind, your heart, and your eyes to the fact that the world's population is now, more than ever, awakening to the truth of all things spiritual, metaphysical, and enlightening, and just how much they play an all-important role in our moment-to-moment daily life. Much love and light to you, my friend, and thank you for tuning into World Awakenings.